Alright, I'm making another video here of this side. I don't know if the other video came out or not, but what I'm doing is warming up this surface, because even though it's summer here, if this is cold and clammy feeling and the glue hits it, it's going to start gelling and thickening and getting sticky fast, which is an important part of hammer veneering, to understand when that's going to start getting sticky and cold. But you don't want it to happen too fast. So what I'm doing is putting in glue on the outside of this first, because I want this to start expanding. It's got a little bit too much of a radius. And I'm putting on tons of glue, as you can see, because a lot of it's going to squish out. And so I'm going to start down here, if you can see where I'm starting down on the bottom, because as I push it up this way, I don't want, I've lost my hammer. There it is. You don't want to push all the glue out, but you want it to get it to start sticking. You can see how it's still sliding all around. So you got to make sure, obviously, that you're overhanging all the edges still. So I'm just kind of pushing up the glue. I'm noticing if it's pulling away. It's starting to stick down without pulling away. So I'm going to start pushing a little bit harder. You want to get the glue to be nice and smooth under there. You don't want lumps under it. You don't want big blobs of glue. You want the two pieces of wood to come together. But you don't want to push all the glue out, because the glue acts kind of like, I don't know how it acts, but it's kind of the reason it stays sucked together, some kind of suction action, where if you starve it and push all the glue out, you don't get that suction kind of action. So when you start with a very smooth substrate, and you start with a new piece of good veneer, you don't have to stress too much about this stuff. And if you would hear clicking when you're doing this instead of a thunk. It would be a click. You can also hear it, that kind of high pitch, and there's a little broken spot here. It's alright. The way this veneer, the grain is oriented, it's not very strong in this department. The next layer that goes across this way is going to take care of any kind of little pieces that aren't perfect. So obviously, being the most bent, this is where I'm going to be checking the most, with wanting to hear that good thunk instead of a click. You can see the glue squishing out. I'm going to check all around the sides. When you see a good glue blob like that, you know it's done, and you can hear it. So this is basically done. You can hear a little bit of squishing. So that's pretty much it. So like I said, I don't know if this video came out or not, but this worked out fine. So before this dries completely, I'm going to give this like an hour or something to really set up, and then I'm going to take a little bit of water and just start picking these big blobs of glue off of here. Get all the big pieces of glue off the side without, you still don't want to use too much water on any place in here, because the glue will deactivate pretty quickly if you put too much water on there. So that's pretty much what we got for today. See if the camera shuts off.